Verbal Riot.
Pamela Anderson. So Pamela Anderson, if you guys don't remember her from like Baywatch and from like the 90s, this was how Pamela Anderson used to look. Pamela Anderson,
23.
Every guy wanted her. Every guy wanted her. Every woman wanted to be her, and even a lot of women wanted her. So I mean, it's like everybody wanted Pam Anderson. She was it, right? For I mean, probably for all of like the 90s, probably until Britney Spears came around. Then everybody wanted her. But Pamela Anderson was like that chick, right? So she's not that age anymore. She's younger now. I mean, older
57.
now.
She's almost 60.
So well, she's almost 60, but this is what she looks like now. Mm-hmm. And people are like dragging her for looking her age, right? For not wearing makeup. And again, that's a choice, whatever, but they're dragging her for looking like a almost 60-year-old woman.
She looks good for almost 62, which is the scary part. Like, what drives me crazy is that this is what a woman look like. When men say, "Oh, I don't like a girl with plastic surgery. I like a natural girl." Well, this is what a 57-year-old woman with no plastic surgery in the face, who stopped the Botox, stopped the fillers, who doesn't want to wear a ton of makeup looks like. But we live in this era where so many people have turned their face into a quilt and have put a bunch of stuff in it that a lot of people don't know what a 57-year-old woman actually looks like. And now they're dragging this poor woman, who, by the way, is still beautiful, is still gorgeous. And my dad, who's around the same age, I'm pretty sure would still hit. So I don't see the issue here. She's a beautiful woman who looks naturally wonderful for her age. And a lot of the men who have something to say about it, chances are they're watching too much porn or seeing too many AI women or too much Photoshop involved, basically. Like, this is what a real person looks like.
Yeah, and this woman is like literally like a grandmother now, right? Like,
she's a grandma.
She lives her life. Like, at what point does a woman at what point does she not have to be hot anymore? Right? Like, I guess that's the question, because
not everybody is going to be Demi Moore. Okay, Demi Moore has had so much work done. Kim Kardashian, who's over 40, has had so much work done. Like, this is a woman who basically left the public eye when she had her second kid and was like, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore. I'm going to go live on my farm and mind my own business. This is her first, she got back into the public eye after decades of a break away from it. And, I will say, haircut doesn't suit her that well. The dress isn't the best, but to say that she hit a wall is absolutely insane. Go look at the average 57-year-old woman in America who, and compare it to Pamela Anderson. Just go do it, because they do not look this good for their age.
And trust me, we all hit that age. I mean, we all hit that wall, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah. Like, look, we're all going to hit it at some point. Like, I'm very close to it. I'm probably this close to the wall right now. So
we all get old. We all get wrinkly. And I've been talking to my husband's really body conscious. So he goes to the gym a lot. He's a gym rat. He's also in the military, so he's kind of required to, but he goes to the gym even more so when he's off of work. And, I kind of told him, we're married. One day you're gonna get fat and old and wrinkly, and all the gym and all this, all of the supplements and all the vitamins, they're not gonna change that. And we're getting old and we're getting fat and we're getting wrinkly together. I'm still gonna love you and still think you're the most handsome man alive. And that's what relationships are all about. And I do fear for a lot of these young men who have trouble talking to women, if they have this image in their idea of what a woman's supposed to be, they're setting this unrealistic standard for themselves and kind of forcing themselves into a corner, because they haven't accepted what reality is of being simply a human being.
Well, because they don't live in reality. I mean, we live in a time of AI women, right? We live in a time of sex robots, right? Like men have this very weird idea of what like a natural woman is, because they haven't seen a natural woman probably in a very long time, or if ever.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I mean, look at the celebrities nowadays. I mean, Paris Hilton, you would never guess that she's over 40. She looks the same as she did when she was 21.
She looks freakishly good. Like
whoever did her work did a good job, but you see my point.
Yeah, I follow her on Instagram, and I'm like, yeah, Paris for some reason has aged very well, and I'm sure a lot of it had to do with surgery and everything. But
yes,
oh, 100%. Yeah, Paris looks the same. Like she hasn't. I feel like Paris Hilton hasn't aged at all. But like going for Pamela Anderson, I think that the dress is age appropriate. She looks fine. Someone in the chat says that like she looks older because of the plastic surgery that she's had. I'm not going to deny that Pamela Anderson has never had plastic surgery.
Had a boob job. She's definitely had something done with her forehead and cheeks.
Has had plastic surgery. Unfortunately, if you start getting plastic surgery when you're young and you do not need it, when you get older or you have anything dissolved in your face, it's going to make you appear older because plastic surgery is intended for women over like the age of 48 and up. You know, that's why a lot of plastic surgeons really urge against this idea of girls in their 20s getting baby Botox. There's no such thing as baby Botox. It is Botox. It's going to age you. It is going to ruin your skin. You don't need it. And a lot of plastic surgeons are urging girls in their, in their 20s to not get plastic surgery because it's going to age them. Especially like when they get older and they no longer need it and they want it dissolved, their skin is going to lose all of that elasticity that it had before. It's because all this plastic surgery does is just stretches your skin. And what happens when your skin is incredibly stretched and you get it dissolved, it's going to like sag. Your skin's going to sag. So if she's had plastic surgery in the past, and especially like in her early career, unfortunately, it's going to age her a lot faster. And I think that
I will say she looks younger than 57 to me, though. Like again,
go because she's probably still getting work done. Her dress is age appropriate. She looks fine. I think that the haircut is really weird. What I will say is that if she had her, blonde bombshell hair and a super revealing gown, I think that a lot of people would have the exact would have the opinion that they do of like Madonna, right?
Right.
Like, oh
and you don't want to be Madonna.
This is completely inappropriate for a woman of her age. This is, she needs to, when is she going to stop trying to be this blonde bombshell? It's going to be a totally different conversation. So I think that like for people saying like, oh, she looks like she's hit a wall, it's going to happen to people eventually. And I think that that's not the worst thing that can be said about Pamela Anderson, especially when a lot of people say that she looks fine. She looks age appropriate. What she's wearing is age appropriate. I think that the haircut completely does her a disservice. I don't think that the haircut.
I think she should have kept her long hair.
I do agree with that.
Yeah.
Or at least she should have styled it a different way. I think this haircut does not do her any favors at all. But other than that, her being her age and wanting to be natural now, that's something that a woman that age should aspire to. That's what they should want.
Yeah.
Right? Like you don't want to be 57 still getting surgeries done.
At the same time, I think that a lot of people have different standards for people in Hollywood as well.
Sure, of course.
Yeah. So, and I think people in Hollywood also have like different standards for themselves. And she's not, I think what people, possibly the conversation surrounding it is you're not living up to the Hollywood standard. And so it's causing a lot of backlash on her.
But to her,
I will say
she
took a break for decades, though. She took a break for decades. Like she did one movie because she was just like, "Oh wow, this is a really interesting role. I think I would like to do," and that was it. Like she's not really aspiring to be like famous anymore. She's kind of just living her life.
She's at the Met Gala. What are you talking about?
But she was sure. You have a point there. You stumped me there. But she was invited. But again, she was gone for 20 years essentially. Like nobody heard from her for 20 years, and now she's back.
Yeah, and she's had a lot of things happen to her. Like she has some kind of illness. I forgot what it was, and there were a lot of things that again. By 57, you go through some shit. You know what I mean? Like so, maybe like after health issues and all that, the desire to still be hot just isn't there anymore, like I'm not saying like, you shouldn't do your best to look your best, but at the same time, if she doesn't want to like, glam it up like she used to back in, the day, then so be it. Again, she doesn't want to be Madonna, right? You know what? No woman should ever want to be Madonna where you're still fighting for relevancy at 70 years old. You know, like, and I don't know if Madonna's 70. She looks 70, but you know,
Madonna looks like what is that called? What is that doll from the Saw movies? Is that a marionette doll?
That's Billy. Here, I'll get him for you.
Is it a marionette doll though?
Yeah.
No, here.
Well, it's a puppet.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's what Madonna looks like that now.
She's
had so much work done, so much filler in her face that she looks like one of those dolls.
Here's Madonna for you.
She looks like Billy.
This is Billy. It's not a marionette, but he's a little robot. Like, so he usually has a tape recorder there to say what they need to say, and then his mouth kind of moves like this. There's multiple Billys, but I don't think he's a marionette. But yeah, there's Madonna.
You know, and what was crazy about the surgery at a young age thing, like, it's not even like a Western thing, man. Like, you know, my girlfriend's Korean, and she tells me like how, like, in Korea, like, you know, girls get plastic surgery like at 18, 16.
Yeah, it's huge over there.
A nose job is like a rite of passage over there. A jaw chiseling down is the rite of passage over there.
That's insane.
Eyelid surgery, all of that stuff. Yeah.
I have a friend who's a doctor, and he told me that and again, this all goes back to just not doing things while you're young. And he told me that basically, like, the guys who he sees, they're, you know, like, these are like 20-year-old guys asking for Viagra, right? And I'm like, and he tells me, like, you know, he doesn't want to give it to them, but he can't say no. Like, if it doesn't risk their health, he's obligated to prescribe Viagra to these young guys. But he was just telling me that, like, yeah, but, you know, they're taking it now, man. But by the time they're like 30 and 40, like late 30s and 40s, they're going to be really messed up, man, because they're not going to be able to do anything without them. You know what I mean? Like they shouldn't be taking these pills now, but young guys are just popping them like they're party drugs. And I'm like, why would you do that?
I think they are party drugs.
Yeah, but Viagra shouldn't be a party drug.
I'm pretty sure they are party drugs.
Yeah, I don't know. I think, you know, when you're young, you shouldn't do all this stuff to your body. You know, that includes plastic surgery. That includes taking weird drugs that are going to mess you up. Because trust me, age is going to fuck you up enough. You don't need to do anything to your body when it's young.
Yeah, I think, like, there's a whole conversation happening on Instagram and TikTok about how Gen Z looks older than millennials. And it's because Gen Z has completely embraced plastic surgery.
Wow.
And there's girls that just go get top-ups. Like, they get lip filler, cheek filler, all this stuff because they're promised by their injectors that they dissolve. And it's been discovered that they don't dissolve. They actually stay under your skin, or they gravitate to somewhere else on your face, which is what causes, like, your face to look really distorted. So they're basically, like, being sold a lie, and so they'll end up changing their face. And the reason, like, and they, like, embrace all of that stuff. And the reason they're embracing all of that plastic surgery and going into debt over it is because of social media. Social media has really fucked.
So I was just about to say something about that. So for me, like, I remember back when plastic surgery, like getting a boob job, like all of that was super expensive, right? Like, has the prices gone down? Like, is it cheaper now to get?
So I've actually had lip filler one time. It hurt so bad, and there's nothing wrong with my lips. This is my natural lip shape, actually, because I actually had it removed. And I just remember, like, kind of being pressured by social media, like what Stephanie was saying, to sort of get it. And I remember it hurt so bad, thinking, oh, it'll dissolve if I don't like it, and it wasn't dissolving. I had to go back in. They had to personally remove it. I had to get, like, a little bit of it taken away out of here. And and I was kind of talking to my friend's mom who works in these offices. And so breast implants are significantly cheaper than they used to be. It used to be like it used to be like really hard to get. So they've actually gone down in price the same way TVs have gone down in price. So to get a boob job, if I wanted to get a boob job, a quote for me would to be like $7,000 to $10,000, whereas back in the day it was like 20 to 30K, the cost of a car today. So for like a good one, at least. So they've gone down in price. So I assume all other things for plastic surgery have also gone down in price. And I think it's because there's just a lot more people on the market for it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's okay. And again, I'm
anywhere.
pretty ignorant on all this. So for me, like, is
I'll never ever touch filler again. I'll never
well, I was
do
about to
like,
say is
you know.
like for Botox, right? Like what's the average on that nowadays?
I only ever get Botox here, and that's mainly for TMJ, so nowhere else. But for per unit, it's about $7 to $8 per unit, and it takes about, I think, like 40 units in total here. But from the diagrams I've seen, if you like want to get your eyebrows done or anything like that, it's like maybe 10 across here. You know, so you can't do that anymore.
And this is all out of pocket, right? Like
yeah.
Insurance doesn't cover this
all out of pocket.
No. Well, my insurance does cover the TMJ.
It has to be like medically necessary. Like, I think like you can get Botox if you have some sort of like sweating,
like migraines as well.
And for migraines, you can get Botox for migraines. It's like a shot in the back of your head. It's nothing aesthetic. It's nothing in like it's a shot in the back of your head. And I think
there's a lip flip.
Yeah.
They'll get their lips pushed up, and then sometimes if girls don't want to get like their eyebrows threaded, which is insane because the thread actually stays in your eyebrows permanently. But if, let's say they don't want to get a thread for it, yeah. Oh, girl, when I was going through a really bad body conscious phase, like where I was just like, before I met my husband, I was researching every plastic surgery you could think of. I researched it all. Like I really did not like the way I looked for, I just went through a bad era of my life.
That thread lift thing?
Yeah, and this thread stayed in your head.
Yeah,
which I didn't realize. But like you can Botox your eyebrows up like this if you want to, which is stupid because you can actually just get your eyebrows waxed to be whatever shape you want. So I don't know. You can Botox here to keep your double chin up. There's so many things you can do. I mean,
so these doctors are making hand over fist, is what you're saying.
They are 100%. They're making hand over fist because women,
it's cheaper now,
especially young women nowadays are being.
I'm in the wrong field. Why didn't I become a fucking plastic surgeon, man?
And some of these things, you don't have to be a plastic surgeon, just be a nurse with, I believe, a med spa certification, just like an injector certification.
Wait, is that what happened to Kanye West's mom, though? Like, didn't she get like a private?
She got liposuction.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, she had complications due to liposuction. Yeah.
But yeah, no. So I'm telling you right now, like I don't have this issue anymore, but like when a girl is really feeling like she's not good enough and she's just scrolling and seeing nothing but Photoshop pictures and like celebrities with a ton of money to spend on plastic surgery after plastic surgery, she's going to start thinking, oh man, I don't look like this. There must be something wrong with me. She'll go to her nearest med spa and then fork out, oh, it's only $8 a unit. And next thing you know, she's going like every 3 months or so and spending a ton of money on Botox and fillers and it's just, and these doctors are actually making more money than they ever have because it's cheaper and more accessible to people.
Yep.
Wow.
That's why
I definitely got
the term IG baddie exists because there are all of these IG baddie girls on Instagram who all look the exact same.
You know what? And honestly, I am getting so fed up with IG, man. Like I'm just every time I hop on it, there's ass, and I'm like, look, I wouldn't mind it once in a while, but it just seems like I can't escape it, and it's not because I'm searching anything, because I'm not. For some reason, my feed just got infiltrated by ass, and so I don't know. There comes a point where you're numb to it. You know what I mean? And I think and that's probably the problem.
That's so bad. Where it's like, it's
a lot of guys are numb to it now.
Become numb to it. That's crazy.
And you know what? And maybe that's why younger guys are getting Viagra, because they become so numb to just like regular stimulation.
That's why I think kink culture. So I'm very like, I would say sex positive. Like I don't shame, as long as it's safe and whatnot. But I will say kink culture is a lot more prominent than it ever was. And it's not because people are more sex positive. I would say it's more because people are so desensitized to relationships and actual, normal amounts of sex, because everything is porn now. Everything on Twitter, on Instagram, everything. My gosh, like I do nude photography and pinup and burlesque, and I've got men in my DM saying, why won't you do full porn? Why won't you fuck your husband on camera? And I'm like, well, in my bio it says no porn, tasteful nudes only, and they get very mad at me, and like they're like demanding porn from me. I'm like, sir, there's a full-on website for this. Like, you don't need to watch me do it. Like, I'm sorry, that ain't.
And that's the thing. It's everywhere. It's like, and you know what?
You need to fix your algorithm, Verbal, because whenever I get on Instagram,
no.
My algorithm is nothing but
no. Look,
but like making fun of all.
It's not just my algorithm. I'm saying
like racist memes. That's my IG algorithm right now.
Everywhere you look, there is just like stuff out there, man, and it didn't used to be like that, right? Like back in the day, you had to search it out. Like you had to look for porn. Right now, porn just finds you. It just finds you.
It just finds you.
I mean?
I remember during the Tumblr era, you couldn't get away from it. Oh my god.
Tumblr was wild shit back in the day.
It's terrible.
Dude, Tumblr was like the wild west of like porn back in the day, man. Like it was crazy. But it was like the weirdo porn though.
The questions I get from OnlyFans are, but a lot of men are obsessed with my husband. They have a lot of questions for him. And it's really interesting
whoa. What kind of question do you have for your husband?
Well, some people want to know like the basics, like what's his dick size, gross things like that. But a lot of men actually like, hey, can I get dating advice from your husband? Like a lot of men who follow me, who I'm guessing don't date, they have actually asked my husband to come on during my live streams, not for anything sexual, but just to kind of talk about dating and stuff, like to have a dating show on my OnlyFans.
Wow, these guys are men.
Just to teach men how, which honestly, in my opinion, is very wholesome. It's very nice that like a lot of men are asking for this, and I have considered like maybe doing something.
You gotta realize what they're asking. They're asking him how do they bag a chick like you, right? like they're not asking simple dating advice here. It's like let's not give them too much credit.
My worry is it has popped on before, and I do sense there a lot of men were like, can I see his back? Like people want to see his backside. Like, and he got really uncomfortable really quick. He was like, no,
hell?
His back, like his ass.
That's crazy.
Oh, she froze.
Oh, I'm like,
a part of me is wondering if they're including her husband in their own fantasies.
That's what I'm thinking. Like that's craziness. Like that is beyond simp behavior.
That's honestly that's the first thing that popped into my mind.
Like that's not even simp behavior. That's just weird behavior, man. Like that is crazy to me. While she's frozen, I'm gonna read this really quick super chat. Hopefully she'll unfreeze by then. Joel Dalton, for $5, ladies, if you feel that your face is looking old and tired, visit a burn ward and get some perspective. Yeah, I mean,
absolutely.
You can always be worse.
It could always be worse. I like the idea of aging gracefully. I think my mom looks beautiful. My grandma looked incredibly beautiful before she passed away. I admire my aunts. They all honestly they all look the same to me. And I can't remember where I heard this. If my grandma told me or if my mom told me, I don't remember. But they always told me like, don't do anything to your face. Don't do anything to your face. Like, because people won't remember nothing matters. When you're gone, people will remember your face. So don't do anything.
Make sure it's your face.
That is true.
Yeah. So
don't get me wrong. I'm not
same. Like, make sure it looks, because your face is always going to look the same to the people who truly love you. And it's 100% true. Like my mom, even though she was younger, she's always looked the same to me as I've gotten older. Even though she has gotten older and has aged, she looks the same as she did when I was 8 years old. Right. She looks the same. Same thing with my grandma, all of my aunts. I know that they're aging. I know that they're getting older, but still look from my perspective, they look the same way as they did when I was 7 years old. So it's 100% true. Like, don't do anything in your face. Don't put any injections in your face, because you only get one, and that's what people remember. So don't do anything to it.
I don't understand the overdoing it, right? Like I know women get little nip tucks here and there. I understand that. It's just, for me, especially for older women, man. Like when they go overboard with it, like when they have that look, I'm talking about that plastic surgery look,
the marionette doll look. Yes.
I don't understand why women think that's an attractive look.
I think that what was her name? Courtney Cox.
Oh God, yeah.
So
Oh,
Courtney Cox said that like when she started doing it, she thought that she looked fine. She didn't see any difference in her face when she started doing it. So, she just started getting more and more, and eventually, the face that she saw in the mirror like kind of warped her view, and like that's what she looked like. So she just continued to get it more and more and more.
oh, that's crazy.
And it wasn't until like I think it was like maybe last year, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I don't remember. It was relatively recent, was when she got like all of her fillers dissolved because her face got warped to a point where she looked in herself in the mirror and she didn't see herself anymore. So she
That's
got all of her
scary.
fillers dissolved and she finally like, saw herself. Remembered what she sort of looked like. She said that like the process that you go through when your face begins to like to change and it looks really weird. She says that like to her, she looked fine. Like that's what she looks like now. Yeah.
I think it's because you're slowly getting used to your face morphing,
Yeah.
so you don't notice it the way other people do.
Well, that's insane. And she had the money to look however she wanted, but I understand not wanting to like look, man. There's times where I look in the mirror and I'm like, damn, like shit, I have more gray hair than black hair now, like, and it's a realization you got to just come to, right? And I understand men are different, men and women are very different, and yeah, I don't believe the
men
whole
age like fine wine. They just get fine.
See, I don't believe that. I mean, some of us do. But I think there's some women who age like fine wine too. I mean, it's just
There's some men who don't though.
Yeah,
I will be honest.
There's men who don't.
I do.
But for the most part, like it is something that you just gotta accept, right? Like there's times where I look in the mirror and I'm like, okay, this is it. This is where I am now, right? This is
I will say the skunk hair is kind of nice though. Like I feel like if skunk hair is your biggest issue, you got a little salt and pepper thing going on with your hair. Like I feel like that's a good thing that comes with aging. I feel like the hair is not the worst part of it. I feel like women worry more about like things sagging.
Oh no, I see wrinkles from now. I see like there's things where I notice now that I didn't have obviously before. But it's just kind of like you just gotta like Pam, like accept what you are, accept what age you're in. You know what I mean? Because there's nothing more pathetic than a person not accepting their age. There's nothing more pathetic than that. When you see somebody like 50, 60, 70 still trying to hold on to it, it is sad. Because you can't. There's nothing you can do to hold on to it. You could try,
Madonna,
right? And then you end up like Madonna.